I lost at fantasy football, and my buddies, if you want to call them my buddies, gave me two options. I could stand on a busy street corner holding a sign like this, but I had to wear a sexy maid outfit, or I could build them a one-of-a-kind trophy that gets passed from winner to winner every single year. There it is. To build a one-of-a-kind trophy, it's going to take time, money, and a ton of work. It does have me thinking, how easy would it be to just knock out option number 2 in a single day? No. I would never humiliate myself like that. Which means I'm going to build these guys the best fantasy football trophy they've ever laid their eyes on. Or so I hope. I'm going to try something I've never done before. I'm taking all these scrap pieces of wood and wedging them into this form, and then I'm going to fill all the gaps using some Total Boat thickset fathom. As you watch this epoxy seep down to the bottom of this mold, I wanted to get your guys' opinion. Do you prefer watching my wooden epoxy sculptures or the 100% wood sculptures like the T-Rex or the bull that I did a couple videos ago? Which ones do you prefer? Please let me know down in the comments. You will help me decide what I'm going to sculpt next from your answers. I ended up having leftover epoxy as well as leftover scrap wood, so I quickly made another little form and made another piece which will actually be used as the pedestal or base for this sculpture. If you saw my previous video, you saw me experiment with making molds of Alex's hands for those sculptures. Absolutely loved how they turned out, and I think this could actually be a really cool way of displaying the football for this trophy. So I'm going to try to cast my own hands and then put a little spin on it. By far the hardest part of this casting is going to be getting my hand position and my finger position right to be able to fit the football. Oh, and if you notice my shop background looking different, it's because I'm actually home at my parents' house for the holidays. This is actually where my career began, on this workbench with all of my dad's tools and a random popcorn maker. I have no idea why that's there.
Alright, I guess I'll just be here.
How many minutes you got?
I have like 5 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes.
Looking good.
Oh no, I ripped it. It could be salvageable though.
Even though the mold was a little ripped, I just decided to go for it. This time I'll be using what came in the mold making kit, and I believe it's just plaster. And I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to have big lumps and chunks like this, but too late to go back now. Let's just do it. This little chunk of plaster right here is just from where the mold ripped, and I think I could just kind of hammer this out and then carve it smooth, and I should have a perfectly working hand. The hand looks good, but we have an issue. The thumb is too closed in and the football doesn't fit, so I basically have to cut off my own thumb and reattach it a little bit further out. I didn't really know the best approach to reattaching the thumb. I actually used some Bondo first, and that actually just peeled right off. So this time around, I'm actually going to mix up some more plaster and try and just kind of wedge it in the gaps and fill all the gaps and see if that works. There's a lot of firsts for me on this project, and here's another big one. I've never gold leafed anything in my life, but I just thought having a golden hand would look super cool, so I watched a couple videos and just went for it. Turns out it's super easy to do and pretty fun too. And then I coated the entire thing with a thin layer of epoxy just to not only seal in that gold leaf, but also make it a little more durable to hold the pretty heavy football sculpture that is yet to come. Alright, I'm finally back home and I get to check out the wood in the pressure pot. It looks like a ton of epoxy got soaked up / air bubbles released out, which is actually a really good thing. Now all I have to do is refill it back up with epoxy one more time, put it back in the pressure pot, and then wait a couple days to unmold it. While that cures, it's time to try one of my most ambitious of firsts yet. I'm borrowing a very old and rickety lathe from a friend who's never turned it on before. In fact, he was given this lathe from an old timer that said he never used it either. And I'm starting to wonder if there's a reason for that. Now, before the comment section blows me up telling me what I'm doing wrong, I already know I'm doing things wrong because I don't know how to do any of this. That's why I'm going to start off experimenting with a 4x4. There's no hiding my fear of this thing. It makes me think back to some of my previous videos where I've done some pretty stupid things.
I just got blown up in the face.
I consider myself lucky because these could have been way worse. This thing is still wobbling and vibrating like crazy, but I think I just gotta go for it, so that's what I'm gonna do, and let's see what happens. By eliminating medical exams, Ethos is able to help people get coverage in minutes instead of weeks. You just answer a few health questions online. According to Investopedia, each year you wait to purchase life insurance, your premiums can increase by 8 to 10%, which means the sooner you buy life insurance, the more affordable it's likely to be. I'd say my first turn on this lathe is actually going pretty good right now. If you're interested in learning more about Ethos or interested in getting your free life insurance quote today, see my link down below. Thank you, Ethos. Let's get back to the build. And just like that, I turned my very first thing on a lathe ever. I am actually really happy with how this thing turned out. I should really just stop right now while I'm ahead and give them this thing and see what they think. There it is. Who am I kidding? We're not going to get that kind of reaction with this thing. Let's go ahead and start the main build. I'm taking my little hand plane and rounding all these edges because I think the key to putting this heavy block on the lathe safely is actually rounding all these edges as much as possible, and hopefully this will make it not vibrate and rattle as much as it did previously. This is absolutely terrifying. The amount of vibration and noise makes me very, very uneasy. So I decided to switch tables, put it on my welding table, which is much heavier duty, and let's see what this thing sounds like on this. Yeah, that is not much better. And just for you guys at home, I actually have the sound at about 20%. I mean, this thing vibrates the walls of my shop. So my next move is to just add a ton of weight to the bottom of this table, take it off the wheels so I have it on some 4x4s down there, and then I used pretty much every clamp I have to get this thing clamped down. And now, just like the 4x4, I'm just gonna wing it on this thing and hope for the best, so wish me luck. A day late and $1 long, my woodturning sensei Alex finally decides to hop on over and show me some techniques to bathing. I mean lathing. No, turning.
We want to work a little more locked in, and we move the whole body as one. This way we create really smooth and super stable shavings that control the tool, because every time the tool goes up and down, it creates a difference in depth of cut.
He also told me that you should be working downhill like he is right here. This is something that I definitely was not doing when I did the majority of this football. And for me, who just knows absolutely nothing about this, it was really cool to watch someone that knows what they're doing, and just to see how smooth his cuts were compared to mine were just night and day. So it was really cool to see, and I learned a ton. So thank you, Alex, for showing me the ropes. And now it's finally time for me to do something that I know how to do, and that is carve. So I'm going to carve in these seams, which was super easy to do with the laser level and the football still being parallel to the floor on the lathe. That was very nice that worked out like that. And then we're going to do the seams of the football. So let's get right to it. All right, I'm in the middle of editing this video, but I just picked up something really cool. Check this out. This is a log Bastogne walnut, and then 2 slabs of a stone walnut. Now, I have a question for you guys for my next video. I'm gonna be carving these into a great white shark. Am I better off carving it out of this log or cutting up these slabs and laminating them all together and then carving it out of that? There's pros and cons to both. Size restriction on the log versus the seams in the slabs. I don't know what to do. I'm still going back and forth. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. One of the hardest parts of this was getting the correct angle drilled into the hand and then transferred to the football. I made the holes about 1/8 of an inch wider than they needed to be to account for any slop along the way. And luckily, it all worked out. And just like that, we are ready to start applying some finish, and this thing is almost done. It just needs one more special touch. So our fantasy football league doesn't have a name, so I'm gonna have to do the next best thing and use our group text thread instead. Fantasy football without Sean spam. You see, that's Sean. And he likes to always blow up our chat with hundreds of messages to come home to at the end of a long day. So Sean, this one's for you. All right, I'm gonna show you guys the reveal of this trophy and then first. Right after that, I'm gonna take it over to my buddy's house and we're gonna reveal it in front of them and wait until you see their reaction. And like always, if you like this video and you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. It'll help me out. All right, let's show you guys this thing. All right, as you guys know, I lost the league this year, and I could either wear a maid outfit or make you guys something. So, without further ado, let me make sure. There it is.
Oh! Wow!
Okay.
That's hilarious.
It's not even the name of our league.
Yeah, Brad.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lost so much weight. Thank you.
Well done.
Dude, that's dude, this
all
is
right.
pretty bad.
Yes.